Welcome to Vibe Sense. So, if you've been keeping an eye on the news from India lately, you've probably seen some pretty confusing headlines about an emergency in Delhi. But what is actually going on? Are we talking about a natural disaster, a security crisis, or something else entirely?
Right, that's the big question, isn't it? The word emergency is definitely being thrown around, but it's causing a ton of confusion because it's mixing up a very real current crisis with an alert from months ago. So let's clear this up. Over the next few minutes, we're going to untangle these headlines and get to the bottom of what's really happening on the ground in Delhi. Okay, first things first, let's talk about the immediate and very real crisis happening right now: severe flooding. This wasn't a drill, this was a major event impacting millions of people.
So, what caused all this? Well, it's pretty straightforward, but the impact was huge. You had these incredibly heavy monsoon rains across northern India, which just completely overwhelmed the Yamuna River. It swelled up, blew past the danger mark, and started pouring into low-lying areas of the city. And the human cost? Well, it's been significant. We're talking about more than 10,000 people forced to leave their homes. Think about that. 10,000 people evacuated from those vulnerable spots right near the river, moved into relief camps. That's a massive, massive undertaking. And you better believe the government's response has been an all-hands-on-deck situation. I mean, they shut down critical infrastructure like the old railway bridge, they spun up a 24/7 flood control room to coordinate everything, and deployed these huge, high-capacity pumps to try and get the water out. Plus, they've started a whole new drainage project. This is active, boots-on-the-ground crisis management. So, you're probably thinking, if this is all about flooding, where on earth did this talk of a security threat come from? Well, this is where things get interesting. We actually need to rewind the clock a few months because that's where the other part of the story comes from. And here it is. This is the source of all the confusion. Two totally separate events. Back in May, you had a high-security alert in Delhi because of rising tensions with Pakistan. That involved things like civil defense drills. Now, fast forward to September, and you have a completely different crisis, this one caused by Mother Nature, the monsoon rains. When you put them side by side like this, it becomes crystal clear, right? On one side, you have the flood alert. Its cause? The Yamuna River. Its status? Very much active. And the key actions are things like evacuations and flood control. Then, on the other side, you have that security alert from way back in May. The cause? Political tensions. Status? Inactive. And the actions were totally different. Think blackout drills and things like that. Two different causes, two different timelines, two totally different responses. And this brings us to the absolute heart of the matter. This is the key to understanding everything. The huge difference between how we use a word and what that word actually means legally. So here's the crucial point. What's happening in Delhi right now is an emergency-style response. That just means the government is throwing everything it has at a crisis. Evacuations, closing bridges, setting up relief. It's an urgent reaction. What is not happening is a constitutional state of emergency. That is a formal legal declaration, like President's Rule, that gives the government extraordinary powers. So, to be super clear, Delhi is experiencing the first one, but absolutely not the second. That's a huge difference. All right, let's pull all of this together. Here is a simple at-a-glance summary of the situation in Delhi as it stands right now. So here's the bottom line. The flood risk is still tense. You've got thousands in relief camps, and traffic is a mess. But really, the two most important points are at the bottom. Is there a legal constitutional emergency declared? A big fat no. Is the government taking powerful emergency-style action to fight the floods? You bet, an absolute yes. And that's pretty much the whole story. And you know, this quote really nails it. Delhi is not under a formal, legally declared emergency, but the flooding, which is very real and very dangerous, has definitely triggered an absolutely necessary emergency-style response from the authorities. And that really leaves us with a final, pretty big question to chew on. In a single year, Delhi has had to deal with two completely different kinds of major alerts, one from a security threat, the other a natural disaster. It just makes you wonder, in this increasingly complex world, how can a giant megacity like this actually prepare for these kinds of layered, overlapping crises? It's a tough challenge, and one that cities all over the world are trying to figure out. Thanks for watching Vibe Sense.